we can post this on our Facebook group afterwards. Okay, and I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see what I see. Okay, so this is obviously your home screen. The very first step when trying to work with Smartplans is to actually go to this tab down here that says Smartplans. It's about third, fourth one down on the icons. You will not have any Smartplans in your My Smart Plan until you add them. There are none. You have to click on this second tab that says Library, and it will give you a bunch of pre-formatted Smart Plans, and they say free, for you to add. Now you'll see that some of mine are kind of grayed out with the big old X, because I already have these plans added into my Smart Plans, so I can't add them again. With that being said, there are tons of plans in here that do different actions. So you figure out what you're trying to do and make sure that you have the plan added first. That's the first step. If you don't do that when you try to add somebody to a plan, it will say you don't have any plans to add them to. So once you have your Smart Plan, sorry, my little paper got stuck there. Once you have your Smart Plans here, you're going to see that there is a list here, and it has these different columns. This one tells you what the duration of that Smart Plan is. This one tells you how many contacts you have. This little eyeball is clickable. When you click on it, it will show you who that contact is. If you have 20 contacts, it will show you the 20 contacts that you have currently running on that plan. They are selectable. I mean, I only have one right now. I did have a couple more on here, but they've since fallen off because it's a shorter plan. But you can select them, so that way you can bulk unsubscribe. Down here in the bottom, you're actually going to see that there's this unsubscribe button. Once you click one, it will say confirm unsubscribe. So you do have the option of bulk removing of Smart Plans from people if you decide that there's one that you don't want to have certain people on. That being said, under actions, you have this little person with a plus sign. That is how you bulk add. So when I click on that, all of the people that I have here will show up. Now, I only have 11 contacts, so my list isn't particularly long. However, if you were a person who has a sizable database, the one thing that's nice about this search is you can search by tag. So if you have, I don't know, a tag for something like tribe, right? I don't have anybody who's tagged that way at the moment, but if you, whatever your tag is, so say buyer. My searching isn't, there it goes. So I have this buyer tag, right? So I can search by that tag and pull it up. That way I can, just the people with this, there you go. So you can search by name, but you can also search by tag. So now it will just show me who has that tag, and then I can select all of the people who have that tag and add to Smart Plan. And then it will say, do you want to start now? Do you want to start on the next day? The one thing I will say, and this is something that Paula and I kind of discovered when messing with Smart Plans the last time we had this class, if you hit start now and there is a task that is due today, it will not show up in that tasks section until you don't complete it, and then it'll show up as being late. So I recommend that when you're starting the Smart Plans, if you have the ability, some of these Smart Plans are meant to be started on that same day immediately, but for what I have found, it's best just to start it the next day, because then the task will pop up in your task list in the morning that says you have these tasks that are due today. Like I said, I did do a couple that started immediately, and then I saw the task the next day that it was delinquent, even though I never had that task populate in my task list. So it's just kind of one of those things where I'm sure it's something that they are going to be taking care of as they continue to do the updates with Smart Plans. That being said, it is currently something that I just have noticed when working with them. And then you can also stagger. So You can stagger, meaning say you have selected 10 contacts to add to the smart plan. You can say, I only want 4 of them to receive the bumps, the tasks 4 at a time. So today you would have 4 people on it. Then the next day, the step 1 would be completed for the 4 others. And then the third day, you know, the next 4 would get it. So you can stagger that as well. This is actually a new feature. This was not something that was available to use as of the last Smart Plan class. So it's definitely an interesting feature. I haven't had an opportunity to mess with it too much. However, it is really kind of an interesting concept. So if you are looking at a large database and you have a lot of contacts and you want to be putting a lot of those people on that plan, it may be beneficial to have a staggering, because if you put 100 people on your Promote My App Smart Plan, you don't want 100 people texting you back in one day. You can instead stagger. I only want 10 people per day to get this first text message or email for this Smart Plan, and then you'll only have 10 people who are going to be responding to you per day, and to see how that works. So it is a really interesting concept. So that's how we have the option of bulk adding and sorting to bulk add people to your list. Now, with that being said, you can also go to your Contacts tab, and if you have added the Smart Plans from the library into your Smart Plans accessible to you, you can go ahead and click on someone, and you will see this little button right here that says Smart Plan is also right here on their contact card. So you can click Add to Smart Plan, and it will actually pull up the tab to show you what Smart Plans that you have, and then you can select which one to put them on for that individual. This is handy if you are putting in a new contact and you want to immediately add them to a Smart Plan. It gives you that option. Now, also on this right-hand side, if you don't want to add them here, you can come over and you can see Timeline, Opportunities, Smart Plans. You can add to a Smart Plan here. It's the exact same prompt. It's just 2 different places to do it. So if you don't remember what that is, you can always just click the tab. So one thing that I highly recommend every single person do for their contacts, just to kind of get your feet wet with the Smart Plans, but also to kind of start nurturing your database, is to add neighborhoods. So in that contact card, you'll see this information that you have for this person, and you'll see that I do not have a neighborhood for Donna Duck. So I'm going to add a neighborhood, and there are 2 ways for you to do this. You can search the neighborhood, and it will populate a list for you to choose from. Once you do that, it will show you a map view of said area, but then it will also suggest neighboring neighborhoods that may interest your buyer that you can continue to add them on instead of having to individually search. Now, if you don't necessarily know the name of the neighborhood, but you are looking at a certain area, you can also click on Find Map View rather, and you can zoom in and find the area. And as you scroll over them, I'm going to zoom in a little bit further. As you scroll over them, it will tell you what the name of the neighborhood is. So that way you can say, okay, well, I definitely want this one and I want this one. And then hit save, and it will just add those 2 into here so you can see them on the map view. So there are 2 ways to add neighborhoods. And I am going to show you where the videos are for this. That way you have the ability to find this information if you kind of get a little confused when you're going to add your people in to the Smart Plans. So underneath your name, you'll have Command Training. And for, scroll down just a little bit, and you're going to see Smart Plans right here. And you click on that and it will bring you right down to the section, and then you're gonna go on to the recommended training. Now I have already gone through each of these sessions and kind of seen what the articles say and watched some of the videos, so I kind of have an idea of where stuff is, and I wrote it down so that way I could do that in this class because I'm smart. And so I'm going to go to session 2 because this is command your database in its contacts and Smartplans. So some of these sessions have to actually just do with contacts, but I'm specifically talking about Smartplans, so I'm just going to kind of skip to the ones that are relevant. So in session 2, you're going to see be neighborhood driven, add a neighborhood to a contact, and add a contact to the monthly neighborhood nurture. I highly recommend that once you have added those neighborhoods in, that you get them on this. This is that neighborhood nurture that sends them the email. I myself receive about 4 neighborhood nurture emails a month because I'm a test subject for most people. So this shows you the actual steps on how to select those neighborhoods if you are not familiar with that. And then this is the only part that I will tell you, this has been updated. The Add Smart Plan is not at the bottom. It's at that top where I showed you on the contact card where it has the Smart Plan here or here instead of below the View Map button. That's the only difference in the article that I have found. You can also add the neighborhoods to as many contacts as you have, and then bulk action, which is what I showed you before about how you add bulk number of people. That is available for that monthly neighborhood nurture as well. So you can, and it will pull up only the people who have the ability to be on that, meaning they have a neighborhood. So you can also bulk add. I'm sorry, I'm just making sure that I have to pay attention to my cell phone so that way my husband can tell me if I have to call him because we're getting our well work done. Okay, so that is this article. It is a 5-minute read. It does have some mini clips in it for video walkthrough. So, oopsie. I think I accidentally unshared my screen for a second. There it goes. Okay. So the next one that I want to talk about is actually going to be in session 3. It's the next session down. And that one is going to be adding your contacts to the quarterly call. So it doesn't seem like that would be too complicated, but again, it just kind of shows you some snapshots about how to individually add in the 2 locations, but also how to bulk add. And then, like I said, that section with staggering is brand new. It only just came out, so it is not even in the KWRI stuff yet. And I'm actually looking forward to messing with that myself. But as of right now, you do have the ability to do that, so you can bulk add. And if you go here to the bulk actions within your contacts, you can actually bulk add to the Smart Plan there as well. So you can bulk tag, you can send them to the email list, you can share contacts, everything that you can do as a bulk action, you can also bulk Smart Plan. So again, there are many, many, many ways for you to add a large group of people. At this point, as I was telling Katie, there are not triggers just yet, meaning that the Smart Plans won't automatically enroll your contact for that Smart Plan. If you put a birthday into a contact card, that person will not automatically be put on the birthday plan. You still have to manually enter them. However, I was in the command group, I believe it was yesterday, and I was going through and seeing what some people were finding with these Smart Plans. And one of the things is that they are working on the triggers and that it will be an available option soon. What their version of soon is and how soon we would like it, of course, it's debatable. So, but that is something that they are working on and that you can in fact get, will be getting soon. So that is where you can find information about them. So if you are having any issues with bulk adding or anything like that, just know that that training is there for you to follow along with, and you guys can always reach out to me, you know that. So what the next thing I want to do is I want to just go back to the Smart Plan. So we're going to go back to our home page. We're going to click on that smart plan again, and we're going to edit. And I know that for some of you, you're like, I want to be able to create my own smart plan, and we are going to get there. But I want to show you how to edit the smart plans that are pre-built for you, because a lot of them are already designed to work with you and your database in a way that you normally would want to. Your home anniversary, your birthday, doing an 8x8, the bi-weekly neighborhoods, those are already pre-set up to work the way you would need them to work in your business, but there are obviously ones that are going to be something that you have to do, right? So when you're looking at the My Smart Plans and it has this list, underneath that Actions tab where you can bulk add, the other thing that you can do is copy. That's going to be important once we talk about the edit, and you'll see why. You'll see an edit button and a delete button. You can delete anything that does not have a person on it. I have somebody on a bi-weekly neighborhood. I cannot delete it unless I remove her. I don't have anybody on my 8x8. I can delete that. Okay, so that's just know that some of these will be grayed out because you can't do those things if somebody is on it. Same with edit. You cannot edit a smart plan if somebody is on it. Meaning, if there is something that you have decided you don't like about a smart plan, you have to go through and remove everybody who is on it, make your changes, and then re-add those people, those contacts to that smart plan. And it would have to start over. So just keep that in mind when you're bulk adding, that you want to make sure it's how you want it and how you have to have it set up, meaning your name is in there and you haven't left that part blank. You want to make sure that that stuff is all done before you start putting people on your smart plans. So I'm going to click on this first one, the Promote My App, and I'm going to show you the editable fields. So you go ahead and hit edit, and you're going to see that this is manually triggered. This is the one that everybody is waiting for them to become automatic. It is not an option yet. So as you can see, I can't do anything about that. It's manually triggered. It's going to send you an email. It is going to set a delay. And then you'll see down here, it's going to send a text message. I don't have a Twilio account, so mine is not connected. If you do have one, you will have this as a bar that says that your Twilio is connected. However, you're going to see the text field here. This is editable. I can click in it and reword this how I want it to, what I want it to say, how I want it to be said, things of that nature. There's another delay. You do have the option of deleting something. If you don't want the first step to be, the third step to be a text message, you can delete that step. Now you'll notice that the first step is an email. You can't change that. It is going to be an email. You can't edit what that email says. There's no edit. You can't change the delay. You can change this part, and you can change what it says. You can delete it. But that is all you can do on this particular smart plan. So some of these are not as customizable as you would like. This Promote My App is one of those. Always hit save when you're done because you don't want to like break anything. Okay, so now I'm going to move us over to this last one, this DT D2. When I click edit on this one, you're going to notice, again, manually triggered, that you have more flexibility. So I can change what the task name is called. I can change what the task description is. I can add a hyperlink. I can say it's due in 1 day or 5 days. I can say, oh, well, I don't want the first step to be a call. I want it to be a text message. And you can rearrange these boxes. You can come down here to the bottom and say, you know what, I'm going to set another 1 day delay, and then I'm going to add this person to a different smart plan, and you can put that in there and it will tell you that there's a task. So this particular smart plan with the DT-D2 is very customizable. You can change orders, tasks, delays, text, all of it, right? So this one is very customizable, which is super helpful. you can, I'm just, again, save, always save. You can also, which you cannot do with this Promote My App, but you can copy the DT-D2. Meaning that you could say, I really like how that smart plan is set up. I want to have the same type of smart plan for open house follow-up. There is an open house follow-up plan, but I'm just saying as an example. I like this setup. I want to follow up for my open houses. You can make a copy and then change the verbiage in your copy and say, this is what that smart plan is. So that way you don't have to create the entire smart plan from scratch. It's already templated for you and you can just change it around while maintaining the integrity of your DT-D2. So that is one way for you to edit tasks associated within those smart plans. And like I said, some of them are not as editable as others. So you just have to be paying attention to what you're making copies of. And know that if you do, say, edit your DT-D2, it will change that plan. So you might want to copy it and have one that you're messing with to get it to what you want it to be. And of course, you always want to try everything before you start adding 200 people to it. So if you're going to create your, you're going to edit a smart plan, or you're going to put somebody on a smart plan you've not had any experience with, I always recommend putting yourself on it and maybe 5 or 10 of your friends or family, and see what happens. See what it looks like, see how it comes across. Make sure that when you get that text message, you're like, oh, that kind of sounds funny. I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna reword that. You want the ability to do that before you have 200 people receiving this text message where you're like, gosh, I definitely misspelled house and put hoose, and now I kind of look dumb. So it's just a good idea to try those things out on yourself. And like I said, you do have to remove everybody off of the smart plan prior to making edits. So it is way easier to remove 1 or 2 people from a smart plan and make the edits and add them back on, in place of adding 200 people and having to take 200 people off and then find those 200 people again and put them all back on it. So it's just a good idea to be gentle when starting with them. Okay, so like I said, we only have an hour, so I'm trying to move us along a little bit. So I've gotten through the meat of getting the smart plans into your command, how you can edit them, how to bulk add, how to individually add, how to make copies so that you can make more personalized ones. Does anybody have any questions before we go into the create, so you can see how to create it yourself if you wanted to make one from scratch? I'm gonna just click my little box here so that way I can see if anybody.
So have they given a timeline on when they think we're going to be able to create our own smart plans?
You can create your own smart plan now. That's actually going to be the second half of this. It's just like the other plans, they're still going to be manually triggered. So nobody is going to be on it unless you put them on it. But you should be able to create your own now. I created one last night for a test and then deleted it so that way I could use it as an example.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, actually I'm using you specifically as an example because it's going to be about pie. Any other questions about your stuff when it comes to the contacts, anything like that? Like I said, the staggering is a new option that's a brand new feature. So I haven't messed with it too much, but I also think that will greatly improve the use of your smart plans. Okay, I don't see anything in the chat, so I'm just going to move on to the create. Okay, so as you can see here, we're still in this smart plan tab. You can see all of your smart plans and you've got your library, right? So there is now a button right over here that says create, and it's actually clickable. And when you do so, you can put what you're going to name it. Like I said, last night I made one and then I deleted it, so it saved my name. I just call it holidays. So we're going to hit apply, and it's going to open up the section that you saw previously when editing a smart plan, but it's going to be completely empty. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to send, let's say, we're going to create a task because mailing them something isn't an option in these steps. But my first step for my holiday smart plan is going to be sending them a postcard reminding them that Thanksgiving is 1 month away and that we do our pie event every year, and that we would like for them to reach out to us and let us know what kind of pie they want this year so we can start to get the orders together. Okay, so my first task is going to be postcard mailer. And I'm going to say, postcard, please call us with your pie selection. Okay, obviously your postcard may say something smarter than that or better than that, but this is just for my end of things, so I remember I have to mail these postcards out. And I'm going to say that I'm going to give myself a 1 day, like it's going to come up and I have 1 day to get all these things out. Then I'm going to set a delay. So my step 2 is going to be a delay. I'm going to say that I want a 15-day delay, enough where, hold on 1 second. There it goes. I want 15-day delay because I want enough time for them to get my postcard and have the opportunity to call me. I'm going to wait 15 days. That gives me 2 weeks. Okay, I have to start putting in my order soon. So my next step is going to be to call. And I'm going to call and say, let's see, the task name is going to be call to confirm. Oopsie, spell confirm right, Tiffany. Confirm. There we go. And I'm going to say that the task description is going to be call all who did not respond to request pie selection. Okay, so the people who did not call me for my postcard are now going to get a phone call from me that says, I hope that you received my postcard. I didn't receive a phone call from you to see what your pie selection is, so I was reaching out to you because I would like to know what type of pie you would like, because I'm going to be placing the order. And then I'm going to wait, let's say we're going to wait 10 days. No, wait, hold on. We're going to say that we're going to give myself a day to do that task. So it will be due that day, and I will have the day. And so the next day it will show that it's delinquent. Okay. And then I'm going to set a delay, and that's going to give me, how much of a delay? So if it's 15 days, and then I'm going to call everybody, I'm going to say 5 more days. 5 days, and then I'm going to have ordered my pies. They're going to be arriving, and now we're 10 days from Thanksgiving. We're going to send a text message, and it's going to be text to let them know their pie, their pie has arrived and can be picked up on whatever day. Just guessing. Okay, so that is going to be what my smart plan looks like, and I'm going to hit save. It's a 21-day smart plan. There are 5 steps involved because I have those 2 delays and 3 tasks. And then there's going to be 3 touches because I'm going to send them a postcard, I'm going to call them, and I'm going to text them, correct? So now when I go to my Smart Plans tab, you will see holidays is here. My duration is 21 days. It involves 3 touches. I can copy it if I like that format. I can edit it if I've made a mistake, and I can click contacts and I can bulk add. So it is a functioning thing. The only thing I will say is because you are creating it from scratch, it is a very good idea to take that smart plan and add, just like with the other smart plans, that if you're not familiar with it, add yourself and add 1 or 2 people that you can test it on. Make sure that you have it set up properly, so that way you can go in and make edits before you actually put the 100 people that you're going to be putting on that smart plan on there and then find out you have a mistake. So it's just a good idea to kind of like test the water, so to speak. So you can create from scratch. It does have the same options for your, what's it called there, for your tasks. It's the same types of options. And like I said, sometimes there may be something on there that you would like to add, but that isn't an option, like a postcard. And you can just create a task and it will just be a blank, no title task, and you can name it what it needs to be. So it would be send postcard. So there is some flexibility in that. And like I said, if there is a smart plan that already exists that has the setup that you want, but you want that text message to say, I'm not following up, I'm doing this, you have the ability to copy it and create one that's more personalized. So there are 2 ways to create your own, so to speak. Did that answer your question, Peggy?
Sorry, I had my mute on. I was trying to undo it. Yes, yes, that does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have any questions? I kind of moved through the create. It took me longer yesterday, probably because I was doing it for the first time as opposed to already having the steps written down. So we went through it a little faster than I was planning. So we've got like 15 minutes. If anybody has questions or anything specifically that you're wondering if Smartplans does or is in the works of having it do, anything like that? Katie, do you have anything? Because you're in person here.
So on the team functions, do we have to, like, so if we have like several buyer's agents, do we have to redesign and customize the smart plans in each of theirs so that it'll show?
So, okay, so her question is for team functionality, do you have to create the smart plan, whether it be custom or be one of the standards, have it in everybody on the team's individual commands in order for it to operate? So I will tell you this. Team functionality right now is just coming out into the works. So again, I was in the command group because I knew I was going to be doing a Smartplans class, and one of the topics of conversation was assigning the tasks within the Smart Plan. So you would not have to have the same customized holidays Smart Plan in 5 of the commands, because the Rainmaker would have it and you would say, okay, Katie is going to mail the postcards and Katie would get that task notification. You know, Susie is going to make the phone call. Taylor is going to send the text message. You would be able to assign that task to whomever is on your team. With that being said, it is currently in labs in certain areas. It is not currently available here because I got real excited and I was like, I'm gonna start assigning some people. Again, though, I am not on a team, so I don't have anybody to assign it to, and so I'm not sure if it's just not available in our area or if it's because I don't have team functionality. However, it's something that I am digging into. Like I said, I just kind of stumbled upon that yesterday. So I am looking at how to do that. So currently, if you do not have the option to assign a task to your partner or to your team member, you would have to have the tasks, or the smart plans rather, in each of their databases for them to be notified of the task. Because if Susie is going to be the one making the phone calls and completing the tasks on that person, then she's the one who has to have that person assigned in her command under the smart plan. If Taylor is going to be doing it, then he would need to have that person assigned in his command so he would receive the tasks. So currently, yes, but hopefully soon you will be able to just assign them the tasks individually in the Rainmaker's smart plans.
Okay. So
You can assign me, Tiffany.
Can I?
Yeah, you can.
See, it didn't show me any options to assign anybody. So but again, I was messing with it yesterday, and yesterday's an update day, so it may be something that has just been added, like the staggering. That was not there yesterday. So, so it may be something that we're still messing with a little bit.
Yeah, if I know what you're talking about correctly, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then Sherry and I will probably be messing with that. And then once I have an idea of how that part works, I can show, I'll do another class obviously and show you how to work the smart plans into assigning it to people. But as of right now, it's just database to database.
So once, I know this is speculative.
Okay.
Once it is working,
Mhm.
Susie has a Twilio phone number and Taylor has a Twilio phone number. If the template is just designed to say, hi, name, your pie is ready for pickup, agent name, like it could send that as Susie from her Twilio phone number or Taylor from his, like.
Okay, so the question is, if you have 2 agents on the team and they each have their own Twilio account and you assign somebody the task and it's an automated text message, what will happen? So because we don't have the assignability up and running as of yet, like we haven't messed with it too much, I cannot guarantee that this is how it's gonna work. However, I'm gonna common sense it a little bit, which probably will blow up in my face, but I would think that if you are assigning a task to Susie, no matter what Twilio account she has versus Taylor has, and it's his smart plan, signing it to her would mean that it would go into her command as her task and therefore would connect to her Twilio. So if she's assigned the task, it would be coming from her stuff. That would be my assumption. That being said, I know that there has been some bumps in the road when it comes to Command and Twilio connecting properly, especially if you have purchased a local number. There's a lot of back and forth between Command and Twilio that agents have happened to been doing because the texts have not been coming from the local number, or they have been coming from the local number, but then when the person tries to call them on the local number or respond to it, they get an error message that says it's not a real number. So there have been a lot of Twilio command things. It's not anything that we don't know why Twilio is having such a hard time. And I know that the labs team is aware of that and trying to work with Command to make it more accessible for Twilio. So I would say, yes, if you are assigning that task out, it would connect to that person's Twilio because they're the ones who are in charge of the task. That being said, I'm not 100% sure because A, I don't have access to it right yet, and also because I know that there are currently some Twilio nuances that are being worked out. Any other questions? Do you have any other questions? Does anybody on here, I don't know if I saw any chat. Yeah, hold on, there's a chat one. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome, Kara. Kara just says that this class has been helpful. So, but does anybody have any more questions about functionality, creating, how all of that like kind of comes together, how you add plans? Now, I will tell you, I'm not 100% sure what this is all about because it's grayed out. I don't have clickability. It says listing plans, opportunity plans, and referral plans. My assumption is that in the library with all of these plans, these are the ones that they created because they're the ones that are most used or requested by agents, and that these tabs are here and grayed out, not because you're doing something wrong, but because there is an intention in KWRI and the labs team to create for you the same type of templated action plans that will help you in referrals, making sure that you're reaching out to your referral agent, reaching out to the client that you have referred, things of that nature, and having a plan in place for that. Same with listing and opportunity plans. I'm assuming that there is a request for certain types of plans and they're in the early stages of creating them for you. So even though you have the option of creating your own plan and adding it in here for people, there will eventually be opportunities for you to not have to create your own plan if there's something that you like for these sections, because they're going to kind of bring something to the table for you to start with, so you don't have to start from scratch.
You are exactly correct.
Thank you, Sherry. Yeah, so don't think you're doing anything wrong. These are just not open yet.
That's the future. Yes.
Exactly. Look into your future. There is referrals and listings galore. You're welcome. That was my, like, if I had a ball and like one of those really sparkly turbans. I should do that. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions?
Nope.
Okay. In that case, we wrapped it up pretty early, which is good because the next class after this is foreclosures, which is why I was like, I need an outline because I can't talk too much because Brian needs to come next. So foreclosures in today's market will be next. It will also be on Zoom. If you are in or around town, you are also welcome to come sit in the room. If you do have any questions about Smartplans, or you see anything that I didn't talk about in this class, again, yesterday was update day and there are a couple of things that have been added. By all means, reach out to me, and I'm gladly doing some research and whatnot to see how these things work, and I will do my best to help you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and I'm gonna go ahead and close this all, so y'all have a good day, okay? Bye.